Hey, it's Pastor Lydia, and I'm here at Family of God at the church building to walk you through a little bit about what in-person worship is going to look like this upcoming Sunday. I tried to go live a couple of minutes ago, and I was too far away from the Wi-Fi. So if you saw us and we got cut off, that's why. So I can't quite walk you through exactly the whole thing, but I hope to give you a little bit of an idea of some of the changes that we have made in order to make our worship experience as safe and as comfortable as possible. So right now I'm outside the church, and the reason that I'm starting this little video out here is we are only going to be opening our church building starting at a certain time. So before that time, we ask you to stay in your car, stay in the parking lot, and there isn't anything on our sidewalk yet, but this upcoming weekend and going forward, there will be markings on the sidewalk that will be at appropriate social distancing, 6 feet apart. And we ask you that until our doors are open, we ask you to stay in your car, but once you see that we've opened the doors, you can line up on our sidewalk at the appropriate distances, because then what will happen is our lovely and wonderfully trained ushers will let you into the building. And of course, I have to say, before you enter your building, please be wearing your mask. We're asking everyone to be masked at all times. I'm not going to put mine on so that you can hear me a little bit better, and there's no one else at the church. But we ask that when you are present inside the building, and really as you're entering as well, to put your mask on and keep it on at all times. There will be masks available if you happen to have forgotten yours. We do have some that we can hand out. So you will enter the building ushered by our beautiful and wonderful ushers, and they will help you through this part of the process. In our narthex area, we will be having some hand sanitizing stations if you will feel more comfortable getting all nice and sanitized before you enter our sanctuary. Also, it's not out here yet, but we will also be having the offering plates will also be out here in the narthex as well. You will notice that there will not be any bulletins being handed out here in the narthex at this time, and I will show you where the bulletins will be in just a second. So you'll walk in, you can sanitize your hands, we'll give you a mask if you forgot one, but hopefully you're already on the ball and you're already wearing yours and ready to go for worship. So you will be ushered in by the ushers, and you will enter in one family at a time, and they will help you find where you will be sitting. So we're going to walk into the sanctuary as if we're being ushered in by one of our lovely ushers. And it is not yet prepared at this moment, but there will be certain pews that are available and certain pews that are not available. In the interest of social distancing, we are roping off some of the pews so that we are not sitting close to at an unsafe distance to one another. So you will be ushered into the sanctuary, and the ushers will let you know where it is appropriate for you to sit, and you will sit where they tell you to sit. And we are having a couple of different areas that you will be able to sit. So if they let you know, please sit, go all the way into the pew and sit on the end, that is where you'll go. And we have thought this out completely as far as how many we can seat and at how far of a distance and how safe to make that. So this is a process that has been maximized for your safety, so we ask you to please sit where the ushers tell you to sit. So I am in a pew right now, and waiting for you in the pew, it's not here yet, of course, because they're still being printed. There will be bulletins available in your pew, and they will actually be telling you where exactly to sit. So follow the ushers, follow the pew, follow where the bulletins are in your pew. If you don't have enough bulletins for the people in your party or in your family, we ask you to please share. And we will still be having our bulletins available for download on our website and through the email. So if you have a device with you, please use our Wi-Fi and download our bulletin ahead of time to help save paper, save things to come in contact with, and share with your neighbor who is in your household. So that is what the plan is for the bulletin. So you may have noticed when I walked in, or when you have walked in with me, that the front of the sanctuary, it is backwards because I have this, at least it is to me. There's a couple of additions that have come to live in the sanctuary. One is right here. This is our lovely Mevo camera, which has been helping us to be leading and streaming worship into your home through the internet. And as you can see, it lives on this cart, which helps us to have a place for it to be nice and high, so that it can most clearly have a picture of the worship leaders. And as you can see, it is right in the middle of the aisle, which is fine because when you are seated in your spot, that is the spot that you are going to be staying for the entire service. We're not going to be moving around for the passing of the peace. Obviously, there will be no plates that will be passed around. There will still be passing of the peace, but it sort of will be turned to your neighbor and give them a peace sign. There'll be no getting up and walking around and greeting one another, unfortunately, due to safety, of course. And as you can see, this is in the aisle, and so what you'll see when you walk in as well is we will not be at the front to be greeting you, the worship leaders, myself, the assisting minister, and Jamie. We will already be up at the altar area, already seated. We will all be wearing masks. And this is, of course, to maximize everyone's safety as well. So myself and the assisting minister will already be in place when you enter the sanctuary, ready to go, ready to lead worship, and we will be doing everything, of course, from up at the front. And for the most part, the service will be looking pretty similar to what we've been normally streaming. However, we have taken out the hymn, of course, due to safety as well. But Jamie Link will still be playing preludes and postludes, and we'll still be doing an interlude during the passing of the peace so that those of you who are streaming at home can continue to pass the peace as well. So we have completed our worship, and you have sat in your pew this whole time, so it is the end of the service, and it's time for you to exit. So what you will do is wherever you have been patiently sitting this entire time, as Jamie plays the postlude, the ushers will come and dismiss you family by family, row by row, to minimize people's contact and passing one another. And during this time, myself and the assisting minister will also remain at the front of the sanctuary, so we will not be having a receiving or greeting line. And of course, we will not be having a coffee hour. So once you have been ushered out of the sanctuary by the ushers. Again, as you pass through the narthex, you can use our hand sanitizer stations and do that on your way out. But then we ask you to, after the service, to immediately exit the building and head back home and back to your cars. And also head back home so that you can get back in time for a coffee hour. So this has been a little bit of a walkthrough to give you a taste of what worship will be looking like safely as we begin our in-person worship liturgies beginning on November 1st, which is also All Saints' Day. And a little bit of a note about All Saints' Day. You may have noticed while we were in there, we did not have set up we had a few candles set up, but perhaps not as many as you were expecting, one per name that we have received. We will be lighting candles. There will not be as many candles. We want to minimize the time that we're spending lighting the candles, but we will be still doing ritual for remembering the saints who have gone before us. So thanks for joining me today as we have done a little bit of a walkthrough about what worship is going to look like. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know, to call the church office, to give me a call if you have any questions or concerns. And as always, we will still be remaining streaming through Facebook, and also we will still be keeping our conference call option, and we will still be having coffee hour over Zoom afterwards. So thanks for joining me, and stay safe, and don't forget your masks.